All right, NFL Power Rankings Week 1. Now, this is before the game, so depending on when you pick this up, this is before we've seen the regular season games being played. This is an update for the Power Rankings that I've been doing throughout the offseason. The first thing I like to do is show you the teams that did not make my top 10. And when I say power rankings, I'm talking about the teams that have the best shot to win the Super Bowl. I'm not talking about the teams that are going to finish with the best record. I'm talking about if I'm betting my money, which teams am I going to bet on to win the Super Bowl? So these are the teams that didn't make the list. I also call this the clown screen because everybody, if your team's on here and they're not in the top 10, everybody gets so upset and they put the clown emoji on. So here's the clown emoji. You don't have to do it. Save your time. Off the bat, LA Rams, Indianapolis Colts, Las Vegas Raiders, Philadelphia Eagles, New England Patriots, Denver Broncos, Houston Texans, Chicago Bears, Dallas Cowboys. None of these made my top 10. Now, look, the Philadelphia Eagles were probably the closest here. I think they're the best team in the NFC East. I think that they won a lot of games without quality wide receivers last year. They're going to be a better team this year. That's the one that I kind of feel the worst about. The Patriots, Cam Newton's back there. They have at quarterback, I should say, Super Bowl pedigree in the coaching. But look, man, they lost a lot of defensive pieces. They didn't really add receivers that could separate downfield. That was their big problem last year. I'm going to wait and see until I see some game action. If they're good, I'm going to put them back on the list. So just chill out, everybody, for crying out loud. Who else? The Texans, they made the playoffs last year. I'm over the DeAndre Hopkins trade. I've already talked about it. I think they're going to have a tough week 1 matchup against the Chiefs, so they're not in there. The Bears, the defense is getting better, but they went to Trubisky again. I don't know. Dallas Cowboys, new offensive system. What's that going to look like? So there are questions. The Rams, I do think that they'll be better in the running game. They're another team that I thought about putting in here, but man, they have to compete against the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks within that division and the Arizona Cardinals, who I think are pretty darn good themselves. That's a tough draw. They're not in the top 2 in the division, so they can't be my favorite within the top 10 to win the Super Bowl. But let me get you working backwards 10-1, okay? First team on the list. Actually, let me just talk about the first 2 here, the Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers. For me, that's a coin flip. I like both of these teams. The Packers obviously went to the championship game, lost to the 49ers in convincing fashion, by the way. The 49ers pummeled the Green Bay Packers because they couldn't stop the run. I think the defense will be better. My big question for Green Bay is still what are they going to do downfield opposite Devontae Adams? They didn't add that one piece. One job to do, Green Bay. Add a deep stretch receiver. Couldn't figure out how to do that in the offseason. You're in a Super Bowl window here, guys. Come on, Robbie Anderson. You can't sign Robbie Anderson to really jam that Super Bowl window even wider open. Come on, man. So anyway, Green Bay kind of pissed me off in the offseason by not adding that elite player. Now, the Minnesota Vikings lost some pieces defensively. I think they're good. I actually think their offense is going to be better under Kubiak. They're going to be able to run the ball regardless if Dalvin Cook is healthy or not. Alexander Mattison will be able to run in this system very effectively as well. I think the passing game will be improved. Yeah, I know they lost Stephon Diggs, but the scheme, I think, is going to be better for Kirk Cousins. Cousins is used to this scheme under his, he ran the Shanahan system under Mike Shanahan. So running it under Gary Kubiak, I like that for Kirk Cousins. So look, Minnesota, I think they're going to have a tough road defensively to start the year while the pieces kind of get themselves into shape. We saw this with Kansas City last year under a new defensive coordinator. It's not a new defensive coordinator. It's not a new defensive system, but they have a lot of new players there. I think Minnesota finishes the season better. I think Green Bay starts the season better. What does that mean for us here? I don't know. For me, honestly, it's a coin flip. So I'm just putting those 2 teams together as a tie. Now, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are number 9. Quarterback Tom Brady gets in there. People are hating on Tom Brady. I'm not. He has his best receivers to throw to in possibly a decade, maybe even ever in his career. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. You add Leonard Fournette to that backfield. I think he's a major upgrade over Ronald Jones. He's a 3-down back. Jacksonville did not like his personality. They just didn't work out well. But I think it will work out. Players coach Bruce Arians in this system has a lot of opportunities, and they still do have Ronald Jones there. They still do have, receiving running backs there. They're going to be just fine. You add Gronkowski. I think this team could really make a run this year, and I liked that they were working out in the offseason together to get the timing from Brady into his receivers. That's good. Big question here is passing defense. You need to fix that. And then also, this downfield passing attack. Brady's going to get hit more than he's used to getting hit in New England. Can his body withstand that? That's a big question for me as well. So they're number 9. Number 8, the Tennessee Titans. Last year was not a fluke. I've been saying this since before the 2019 season. Mariota was not the guy to lead this organization. He's a guy that works basically 10 yards, 15 yards, and in as a quarterback. For this offense to really pop, you needed a quarterback that could push the ball downfield. Ryan Tannehill, from the moment he was acquired, I said Tannehill will be the starter there. And when they do that, Tannehill's better passing the ball downfield. He's a better quarterback than people want to admit. And that's going to only help Derrick Henry in the red zone. Now, the red zone offense was as good as I've ever seen a red zone offense, 90% touchdown percentage when Tannehill was in there. That's going to regress a little bit. You can't keep that percentage up. Those are video game numbers. I mean, it's just crazy. But this Tennessee Titans team, they're for real, man. They're for real. So I like them. I think they're going to make a lot of noise this year. So there you go. The Buffalo Bills. I think, look, this all hinges on Josh Allen. He hasn't been an efficient passer. He can run the ball. The offense can move. I love the defense, obviously. The offense has weapons. Josh Allen needs to improve as a passer, specifically if he gets like 5 to 10 points on his quarterback efficiency, his completion percentage. This is going to be a tough team to beat. You add Stephon Diggs. You have John Brown, who I already liked. Cole Beasley kind of working slot routes. The tight ends are a little bit better than you'd think. Buffalo can make a run. I mean, if he gets more efficient as a passer, like we saw Lamar Jackson last year, who put up a 36-6 touchdown to interception ratio, if Josh Allen can make that kind of improvement, even put up like a 25-10 type touchdown interception ratio, this Buffalo Bills team is going to be hard to beat. Josh Allen needs to take that step. Can he do it? I don't know. Number 7, Buffalo Bills. Number 6, Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger's already won 2 Super Bowls. He's been to 3. The Steelers went 8-6 without Ben Roethlisberger last year. The offense could not convert a third down. They couldn't move the ball. They were perpetually punting. This defense probably is the best defense in the league. Again, 8-6 without Ben Roethlisberger last year. Roethlisberger was 0-2 as a quarterback. I think he started against New England and Seattle or something like that. So he had a tough draw to start the year. Pittsburgh would have been really good last year. They would have been in the playoffs last year. Again, 8-6 without Roethlisberger. You put him in, now they can convert third downs. Now they can score points, and that defense is going to be more rested. Yeah, they're going to still produce sacks. They're going to produce turnovers. Pittsburgh's going to be tough to deal with this year, everyone. Number 5 on my list, Seattle Seahawks, another quarterback that has won a Super Bowl. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has his best offensive personnel of his career. I love the addition of Greg Olsen, something that's under the radar. If you're a daily fantasy player, buy him up. He is going to be a red zone threat this year for Seattle. Russell Wilson loves throwing to those tight ends in the red zone. They still have Disley. Is Will Disley going to play more than 2 games this year? I don't know, but Greg Olsen will. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett down the field, love it. And Seattle, their defense hasn't been bad, everybody. People have been selling on Seattle for years. I've been buying them. This defense was okay. They add more pieces, good pieces to this defense. Yeah, I know they lost Clowney, but they're going to be better in the back end. Seattle is going to be a Super Bowl threat, everybody. Number 4, Baltimore Ravens. I think they're the only team on this list that hasn't been to the Super Bowl, I believe, that's left. Now, Baltimore Ravens, why are they number 4? Look, they're not going to put up a 14-2 record this year, but I do think they're better. My question is, Lamar Jackson, I think he'll get there. But is he a guy that can hit a precision 20-yard out, 25-yard out when the defense is dropping 4 into the secondary? And what I'm specifically saying is Baltimore, look, they can run the ball, they can play defense. That's going to win you a lot of games. But when teams go up on the Ravens and suddenly they take that run game away in the last 5 minutes and they, like I said, they drop more people into coverage, is Lamar Jackson the guy that can throw that precision ball downfield? I think with Marquise Brown being healthy now, that downfield element is there. I do think Lamar Jackson is going to develop more as a passer downfield. I would liken him to maybe young Russell Wilson, who, by the way, is one of my favorite quarterbacks now to win Super Bowls. Lamar Jackson will get there. Is he there yet? I don't know. But I do think the Ravens are certainly probably the second best, if not the best team in the AFC this season. So you got to take notice. Number 3 on my list, the New Orleans Saints. Drew Brees, Super Bowl winning quarterback, right? They add Emmanuel Sanders to the offense. Kamara is healthy. Holdout is over. Don't worry about it. Michael Thomas on the other side is going to have more favorable matchups with Emmanuel Sanders stretching the field. Traquan Smith, young guy, hasn't really hit potential. I think he could really make some damage and be one of these under the radar guys. Jared Cook, very good at tight end. You still have gadget guys, Taysom Hill, so on and so forth. The Saints defense can stop the run, which is huge. You can make them one-dimensional, and they can be opportunistic on the defensive side, creating turnovers. New Orleans Saints are going to be good. Are they going to be better than my number 2 team, the San Francisco 49ers? I think early in the season, the Saints will be better, but will we get fatigue from the Saints later in the year? We'll see. San Francisco 49ers, Super Bowl hangover. I'm not a superstition guy, but statistically, this quote-unquote Super Bowl hangover, it fits. It fits the mold. I do think that San Francisco, with this leadership and the coaching staff, I don't think Garoppolo is going to be as phased. Look, man, Garoppolo outplayed Patrick Mahomes for 3.5 quarters, okay? Let's just pump the brakes on the Garoppolo. You got to get rid of him. He's not a winner stuff. The dude went to the he's 21-5 as a starting quarterback. Went to the Super Bowl in his first season, 13-3 in his first season starting. I think he's okay, everybody, for crying out loud. Let's pump the brakes on the criticism. I'd be happy if I'm San Francisco. If you're a San Francisco fan, you got to be very happy. Defense could be better than they were last year. They start the season a little banged up. I don't like Deebo Samuel's banged up. I do think the run game is going to be there, and they can play defense. That's going to get San Francisco into the playoffs. I think that they're going to break the Super Bowl loser curse. I think they'll be back in the playoffs by the end of the year. They're going to be a juggernaut once again. But can they beat my number 1 team, the Kansas City Chiefs? Look, Kansas City, their defense, they had a new defense last year. First 8 games, that defense was trying to find its way. Last 8 games, that defense is getting better and better and better. The defense this year will be better than the defense last year. You get the offense. Remember, Kansas City went 12-4 last year. Patrick Mahomes, ankle issue to start the year. We don't even remember that anymore because he had the patella issue in the middle of the season. He comes back. They lose a game to the Titans somewhere in kind of the back quarter of the season. Don't lose a game after that. Maybe it was around the midpoint of the season. Don't lose a game after that. I think they won, like 6 in a row. They were 6-4. They won 6 in a row to close the season. Then they went on that playoff run. Kansas City Chiefs, I don't see any reason why they're not a better team. And that's the scary part. If Patrick Mahomes is healthy for the full 16, you add Edwards-Helaire at running back, you have Tyreek Hill and Sammy Watkins, but I actually think Mecole Hardman is going to take a step forward this season. I think by the end of the season, Mecole Hardman will be the number 2 receiving option in terms of receivers. You still have Travis Kelce at tight end, who's obviously going to be a huge factor in that passing game. I think this offense is better. I think the defense is better. And this is a team that won the Super Bowl last year. I don't see any reason to downgrade Kansas City at all with respect to the other teams. I do like a lot of these other teams, but Kansas City's at the top of the mountain. I think they have a good chance to repeat, and that's not easy to do in the NFL. But again, if Mahomes can stay healthy, I think they're going to be 13-3, 14-2. They're a hard team to beat, but we'll see how that goes. So there you go, my power rankings. I will update weekly, so make sure you like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get in on these power rankings. I'll have the update next week. I'm not going to overreact to the teams on my top 10 losing games, but hey, early last season, I saw San Francisco play a game. Maybe week 1, week 2, I said, oh my gosh, this team is going to be a threat. They immediately got into my power rankings. Is there going to be a team like that this year? We will see. Go ahead, give me your clown emojis. 31 teams are going to be ticked off because they didn't pick your team to win the Super Bowl. So give me those clown emojis. But follow it up with something intelligent, please. Tell me why you think your team's going to be there, what you think your team's record is going to be. Comment below, and we'll catch you next week. Thanks, everyone.